But to continue, because my thing cut out, my impression is that Clackamas County is an incredibly corrupt, uh, a local government that's doing so many things that are un-American and has so many problems that, yeah, most of the lawsuits against them in any shape or form, from whether it's the wife of a commissioner or whether it's someone like me or whether it's a police officer who's putting a lawsuit forward, or a person who's was the spouse or wife of a soldier who died in custody of the police. Any and all of those lawsuits and anything in between, all the other lawsuits that I've heard about, I believe are probably justified against Clackamas County. So, to me, I'm almost getting the impression that the police force is trying to take over the commission, or there's some bullying or something going on. I don't see any sort of nepotism just glancing at this article. Now, let's look a little closer because I haven't read it all. She also found that Bernard attended part of the executive session where his wife's request for records was discussed. He was in the room for other items on the agenda that effectively recused himself from participation in the discussion involving the records request from Ms. Cohen's attorney without announcing any conflict of interest. Now, Whedon wrote that merely excusing oneself from the room isn't enough to satisfy the requirements of the law. Rather, such actions appear to undermine the requirement to publicly announce conflicts of interest. I still don't, I'm not just not seeing this. Cohen clearly had a financial interest in obtaining the records. The ethics investigation states, adding that if the county failed to turn over the records, it would have cost Cohen additional legal fees to try to get them, and if she sued the county, she would seek money damages. Okay, but again, I'm just getting to the fact that why does the county even in the position where someone has to sue them? Okay, why is the county such a fucking shit show with Clackamas County? Okay, that's the issue. The issue isn't all this like red tape bullshit and this long-haired Stephen Madcore, and the housing flap, and this thing, and the nude calendar shoot, and the and the soldier dying, and this millions of problems with why is Clackamas County a fucking shit show? Okay, period. No one cares about any of the other things. That's what I'm getting when I read between the lines here. In an interview on Wednesday, and they don't spell it right, Bernard said one of the emails he sent came from a personal account, and he said he wasn't in the room during the executive session. So if I'm not there, there's no potential nor actual conflict because I wasn't there. Again, I see what he's saying. He acknowledged sending an email to County Attorney Stephen Madcore and Don Krupp, the former county administrator, from his work account. He said he advised them to release the recording. If there's nothing there, then I think you should consider releasing it, he said, he told them. Cohen on Wednesday strongly defended her husband, an ethical politician, and blamed Anderson for the original ethics complaint, which she said stemmed from a personal vendetta. Cohen said the executive session where she was discussed came as county officials and her agency battled over the appropriation of tourism-related dollars. I was the one who was being destroyed in there, basically with falsehoods, she said. She said she never ended up hearing the recording from the executive session. In all honesty, if Jim wanted me to have the tapes, he could have handed them over to me at my house. I was going through the process of finding out what was there. She said her husband's requests on her behalf weren't some shady cloak and dagger effort. It's simply not true and creates this picture that he's done some things to benefit us. Cohen has run the county's tourism agency since 2010. Her annual salary is $151,000. According to the county, Bernard, whose salary is $102,000, was elected to the commission in 2009. It's hard to see. It's just and Noelle Crombie writes this, and she's got her phone number 503-276-7184. But again, Clackamas, from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right, Clackamas is a shit show. Okay, so no, I wouldn't trust anyone. I wouldn't trust the newspaper. I wouldn't do anything. But here's the thing: here I am, trying to deal with my issue with their police force doing things wrong and stuff, and trying to get through. How would I even be able, and you can't contact the commissioners who are the elected officials because they're in the middle of a bunch of lawsuits and drama with Clackamas County too. So, I just want to put it in perspective here. And this is stuff that's been unfolding in the exact same timeline, exactly parallel. Their issues were coming up October 2018, Ethics Commission investigation in March of 2019. It's April 11th of 2019 now. And this is against the chair of the council in Clackamas County. So when you try to contact and, in a mature and reasonable way and try to set up a meeting or do anything with the people at the county, and you get crazy people working at the front desk who say that, who don't want to do their job right, and you've got the middle of lawsuits from the wife of the chair commissioner, and it sounds like that probably the lawsuit that woman has against the county or is trying to put against the county, it sounds like that lawsuit probably, and I could be wrong, You know what I mean? But just reading that one article, I get the impression there's probably, if there's probably, uh, there's probably validity to whatever her claim is, and it sounds like people are just playing politics and we're trying to just out everything. But I just don't, I don't, I don't get the impression that I get the impression that Clackamas County is just shady as fuck, and but again, it puts me in the perspective where maybe this guy shouldn't be the chair of commissioners, but maybe there's other people should be getting fired instead of her and him, but it circles back to the point is you can't trust them. You can't expect them to do their job when they're in the middle of a bunch of lawsuits with the exact organization, with the county government when there's literal families in a lawsuit with the actual county government that he is the chair of. You know what I mean? So this is like, of course, it's like, of course, there's millions of people who are breaking the law and not being held accountable in this. Of course, the police are doing an underwear photo shoot and laughing at because the very top management, not just Craig Roberts, but the actual county commissioners and stuff, they are they're a total disgrace. And it's like it's like it's like it's just it feels like a lost cause for an American to expect to come into town in Oregon and to have American things to encounter. It's just this isn't America. Oregon's not America. Clackamas County's not America. It's a different thing, and I think there needs to be steps from the American government to step in here and say no. We don't want the police. I think that's going to be what happens. We don't want the police doing an underwear photo shoot and laughing on the paper. We don't. The resignation's not good enough. You know what I mean? We don't want internal ethics investigations. We don't want your lawyer in the middle of a housing flap trying to rent out a house. You know what I mean? For personal money and Airbnb. There's just this is not just a shady group. These are criminals, and so that's